them take care of their needs. I'm just known as somebody.
I mean, if you, this is Anne. She used to work at Landmark, and Aaron, with Scientology. I don't know what the P is for. I believe former Scientologist, who talks to other people and just wants, I mean, everyone really seems to want the best for everyone, as it seems to have the best of intentions. Um, if you haven't done the forum or the advanced course by Landmark Worldwide, it's a training company and development company. Two best things I've ever done. And I don't work for them. I don't represent them. I don't make money from them. I don't influence for them. I have nothing to do with them whatsoever. I just don't appreciate people spreading, uh, you can call it mis or disinformation, call it what you will. But things that are real to them but aren't real. So she's saying that she used to be a friend to people and used to want to take care of people, et cetera, et cetera. And it's not really what Landmark is about. It's not for friends. It's not for community. It's for your life and the community that you've already had for the last 40 years. It's nothing to do with Landmark. It's nothing you join or anything like that. Seems like she got a little bit too, not to say that it's a bad thing that she, or it's her fault that she got too much of dealing with friends and people that she wanted to take care of. But in any event, it's all done online now, so there's very little interaction between people. I'd say no interaction. It's not like you have these people's contact info. Um, yeah, if you haven't done the forum, figure out what it is that you want out of your life and your family and your relationships and your work and your nation, and then yeah, call your local office and see for yourself. Um, and was seems to be overall most upset and tells me there's lots of people calling her and giving her the same sob stories um, of abuse and manipulation, and meanwhile can't quote a thing. Um, and she was upset that a guy that she was interested in happened to be dating a few other ladies that also did landmark courses. And then she found out afterwards, after she was with him, that he had been with other people as well. And like, A, that guy probably doesn't work there anymore. B, that guy does not represent landmark whatsoever. C, you said yes. D, what would the relationship, what would the conversation have looked like if you had immediately, instead of staying on for 20 years afterwards, it sounds like you did. It sounds like this sexual, no, this thing that you didn't like about this guy happened way back when, and then you kept working there for a number of years. I don't know if that's true or not, but it seems like it is. And what would the conversation have looked like had you had a different type of a conversation with that person that was saying they were with other girls? And yeah, what would it have looked like if you were able to have the conversation where that guy stayed with you and was faithful to you? Um, and then you're happily married right now, and I surmise. And yeah, it just seems like people are like, "Oh, I have the best relationships ever. I am so like in love with most of my family, and even the ones that I'm not close with, I'm still absolutely in love with them. I want what's best for them." Um, but this guy did this thing one time, so therefore I'm going to make the whole organization wrong. It's like not based in reality whatsoever. It's real. It really happened. It's just not, or it's really happened to you, and it's really real emotions to you. And by the way, I told my now wife, hey, look, there are other girls, and like there weren't at the time when I was dating her. Um, but I thought that I wanted that at the time. So I told her that, and she was like, all right, we're done. And then I immediately was like, well, wait a minute, I can dump them and be with you exclusively. And we had that conversation, and 12-year marriage. So it's wonderful.
Honestly, the division I was in, Aaron, I now understand.
Yeah, if you say the word honestly, why are you telling me honestly? I don't I really don't know anybody that is really, really straight and direct that uses that word honestly. Like when you tell me honestly, like why would someone be like, well, to lie to you? to be frank with you, to be honest with you. It's like it's this is all your opinion.
Is kind of the Landmark's version of the auditing. The people that
Landmark's version of the auditing. It's like people complain about failing audits or no audits, and then like you do an audit and you want to say, oh, well, that's Scientology. It's like, no, no, just because we both drink water doesn't mean we're both Scientologists.
listen and help you get clear. So
Get clear in quotes, like she's just making it out to be like it's something that's bad or wrong or fake or something. I don't know. Hey, maybe I'm the one that's interpreting that from her, but it seems to me like she is and or has been. And I mean, don't you want to be clear? Do you really want to be like thinking about the thing that you're exhausted or angry about? Or would you rather figure out a plan to not have that exhaustion or anger anymore, like over and done with? Like you either don't deal with that problem at all anymore because it's out of your life, or you deal with it in such a way that it works for you and works for the other people.
not surprisingly, in my career at Landmark, lots of people came to me to get clear.
Yeah, you made a massive difference in people's lives that then impacted your happiness, and you want to just like I don't know, make up this story about how none of that stuff was really real. I mean, you made a massive difference in people's lives, and you have made a massive difference for yourself in your life, and you wouldn't have any of that training without this. It's just wild how it's like, yeah, I'm super happy, but like they screwed me up. It's like it's all made up in your head. And when was this video recorded? Hopefully a year ago. And you haven't done any videos recently, so my guess is you're on to something bigger and better and more fulfilling for you and people all around you. Oh, and this is from Growing Up Scientology. So this must be SP Aaron who seems like a great guy. He just listens to all these people that are complaining about Landmark and then thinks that Landmark is the same thing as Scientology and then tries to make comparisons from Scientology to Landmark. And then they're just gathering more and more evidence so that they're right and they can. People would rather be right than be happy. And knock wood, both of these people are extremely happy with their lives and can answer me straight up, are you happy? And the answer is yes. And there's no justification or no validation or any of that stuff. But hey, it doesn't seem like that in this video recording a year ago. So, you know, again, I haven't seen anything from Anne in a year, so knock wood. I mean, she has been commenting by it, and I've been commenting back to everything that she's been asking me, telling me it's better off that I don't know a lot. Maybe I'm someone who doesn't know a lot and I'm not informed, and maybe it's better off that way. Like, excuse, when is it ever better off for someone to be less informed? And by the way, I am extremely well informed, so I don't know what you're like, comment back or record a video back, or by the way, you haven't responded and haven't recorded a video back. So maybe that means you're really getting complete with this whole situation and that you see the benefits and you see the value. And okay, she didn't work there 26 years, I don't think. Well, let's say she did. So she worked there from like whatever, maybe the 80s or 90s all the way until 2022. So, okay, so yeah, let's say you worked there for 30 years, 35 years. Let's give you the full benefit of the no, let's say you worked there for 50 years. If you would only work there 49, you worked there 50. If you had stopped at 49, you wouldn't have had that training that you got in the 50th year, and you wouldn't have some sort of a skill set that you're now using today in your everyday life, in your everyday relationships, with your everyday concerns. Um, you're using those skill sets, even if it was like hard for you at the end. Um, I don't know. It sounds like years and years of like upset and like unfulfilled conversations that you never had for I don't know what reason. Like people are leaving there complete, um, having nothing left unsaid. Um, so to have you not have the conversations that you wanted to have, that seems very in someone that would take full responsibility for really anything. At least that's what I got out of it. Um, that isn't taking response. That's pushing the blame. That's not taking full responsibility for something. It's like, well, how do you control something that's out of your control? It's like it's not about that. And like if you really look, you're gonna see that you have more control than you think you have. Um, it's not about control. It's about you're empowered, and then you're empowering the other people, and somewhere in this document, I saw. Oh, because I made it all, but somewhere in this document, I saw that we have structures to support people when they don't feel powerful enough to make those communications. Oh, well, this is if someone catches someone else doing something bad. They're like, oh, well, wouldn't you guys be able to get away with that? Because you're in charge, and if you're doing the bad thing, then you wouldn't call yourself out. And it's saying that they have structures to support people that don't feel powerful enough to make those communications. We have an ombuds person. An ombudsman is the patriarchal way, I guess, who's paid to keep it to him or herself, who's ever holding that position, whose job it is to make sure that the staff member is not damaged by the communication, even if they got to make it themselves and not identify the source because they don't think they can cover for the staff member or whatever. And we put those things in there. I want to tell you that we put those things in there so that we don't think that any of those things are necessary because we don't think we operate that way. But we think that it's possible for me, it's possible for a staff member when they're looking out for an excuse not to be responsible to say to themselves, hey, I can't tell the truth here because I'll get in trouble. So we've destroyed the opportunity to use that as an excuse. There's no way that you as a staff member cannot say exactly what's on your mind because there are so many systems to protect you that you can't possibly get damaged by saying what's on your mind. We have forums for people to express themselves. It's kind of like the first rule as a staff member is an agreement to be open and honest and complete communication. So this is an agreement that this one was written or recorded in 1990. So somehow in 2024, you weren't present to the first agreement of being a staff member, which is to be open and honest and clear communication and not let anything go. Anything.
And and I would listen to them and restore them and put them back into play. And so that as that more and more people are
I mean, it's good that you're taking responsibility for making sure that other people are restored, but didn't they restore it? Like you didn't restore them.
coming and some lawsuits, some legal actions start to take place. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for all this.
We literally learn in the forum that humans naturally put something for a someday, one day, maybe someday in the future. And by waiting, this is what you're doing. And yeah, I don't know. You can look up any lawsuit and the people, no, it's just wild. Um,
This to come out. And then that's kind of creating a crisis for me because I'm worried that when it comes out, that all these graduates that have gotten all this value.
when what comes out, it's just the same um, scare fear mongering tactics that have been used for the last 55 years to say that, oh, well, that thing isn't real and something's going to come out one day. It's the exact same thing. One day you guys will get caught for all your bad doing. There is none.
And their lives have been transformed are going to
All these people that got all these great things out of their life
dismiss all what they got.
will dismiss what they got out of it
And
because you're spreading fake rumors online about conjecture and things that you thought were going to come out that never have.
so I'm like, and I'm feeling complicit because I know.
There you go. You're feeling complicit. If you haven't done the forum, I get it. Your feelings are very real to you, and they are real feelings. They're just not real. Um, it's it feeling. You have the feelings that it feels. So if you're feeling a certain way, again, your first rule as a staff member is to be open communication. So if you're waiting and you're feeling a certain way and you're getting it off the chest with a non-staff member who's an ex-Scientologist who has never even done the forum, you are speaking to someone that's not at the source of your issues. And you also broke your agreement as a staff member, and there's nothing wrong with that. We can forgive you for that. And I don't represent them. But you can see how that was an agreement, and you are years after you left complaining about that agreement that you broke, and no wonder you're still upset about it because you broke your own agreement that you gave your word to not breaking. And yeah, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's satisfying. It's fulfilling to say your word and then be your word and then deal with any consequences that aren't your word.
Um, People are continuing to
Your words have consequences.
go on staff for Warner. They're continuing to be abused.
They're not going on staff for Werner. They're going on staff for themselves and their lives and their world and their nation and their community. Um,
I still think it's mostly isolated over there.
yeah, again, it's not, can't be isolated if they're telling you to go be with people. Go out to people. That is not, that is the opposite of isolation.
And I had known about a few, what I would say, inappropriate things that Landmark had done over the years. But I always
There you go. Let's like be open and honest and confront and deal with it. It's not, it seems like you've been harboring these quote unquote abuses for decades and never said anything about it. Now you're coming clean to the world. Like,
sort of thought of them as one-offs.
sort of thought of them as one-offs. You are literally, if you allow something that is immoral, anything, if you allow something to happen, you are now, and if you are someone that takes full responsibility for everything and anything, you are now, what is it called when you're enabling? You're allowing the bad trait to continue to happen. Therefore, you are the one that is responsible because, oh, well, you thought it was just a one-off. No, it did something wrong. You're freaking fired or reprimanded or something. There's no stepping over stuff.
And I knew Landmark had a problem with like,
No, they don't have a problem. You have a problem and you haven't voiced it. And knock wood, you voiced it a year ago and you're done and over with. And you're never going to talk about this ever again because you could focus on so many other things. And you're so wonderful. You have so much to provide to the world. And complaining about something that is made up in your head or that you didn't voice is maybe you're the only person that saw it. And therefore you are aiding and abetting.
like the managers yelling and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm making phone calls in a phone desk a few feet away from the center director's office, and I hear screaming. I'm not going to assume that I know that it's something bad's going on. Like that person's dealing with their resistance to following their own word. And yeah, they get a little dismayed by that because most people don't say, hey, you promised nine, you gave me eight. So if you're not going to come and say, hey, I promised nine, I gave you eight. That doesn't work for you, me, for the planet, for anything, for that ninth person that I didn't reach. And Joe, I'm just playing a game. I'm not blaming myself for not reaching that ninth person. I'm just taking responsibility of who I was that I didn't reach that ninth person. Why did I say nine and only deliver eight? Why didn't I say seven and deliver eight? It's not why, it's like what had me and like how could I be my word and be like I just who cares if you promise six and get seven? Like that is empowering stuff. And nobody's saying you had to get nine. Maybe someone asked you to get nine and you said yes because you were in whatever fantasy world you underestimation of your efforts.
But again, they kept making policies to not yell and they kept reinventing themselves. And
Yeah, I mean, look, people get afterwards that yelling didn't really make the difference. Um, but to say that like nobody will be angry ever is kind of like a ridiculous thing to ask. Like people have emotions, so trying to control people's emotions sounds more authoritarian than what it is that you're committed to. Um, And again, the yelling would be nothing if the person got that as a staff member, I am my word. And to prevent yelling, I would just want to go in and accept full responsibility and take full responsibility and make sure that I'm clear, that they're clear, that I get how coming back with 8 when I promised 9 impacts them. They would have no reason, and my commitment for the next hour is 6 or whatever it is, then the reason for them to yell would be non-existent. So, um, not to excuse any yelling and say like, oh, well, that's no big deal. Um, and that person that's yelling doesn't necessarily represent the whole organization. Like they're just dealing with their own issues of like, we promised 9 and you're walking in here like you don't know that you promised 9. And again, this is very inside baseball because this is staff, and most people don't do staff. Most people, do the forum, do the advanced course, and then go on and use those skill sets and things that they got out of it in their lives in their community, having nothing to do with Landmark. Um,
Different things would happen. They were supposedly not
if I were to review this whole video, it'd be like freaking 4 hours because this is an hour 27, and I keep stopping every 2 seconds.
going to pressure you to bring guests anymore.
No, you're not pressured. Like the pressure is made up in your head. It's not happening. You said you wanted happiness for your brother, and then I asked you how the conversation with your brother go. That's not a pressure. That's a you wanted X. I'm committed to you having what you want, and it's just so wild. We made up the word pressure and then assigned it to, well, it's a he said, she said. I said X, they said Y. If you want to talk about pressure, that is a description for what you're inferring or interpreting out of the conversation, where it might not necessarily be. I got to tell you, every single argument I ever had with my wife was purely a miscommunication. And I could step outside of the conversation and look from the outside and see, wow, I get how I said X and you said Y, and that made you feel that way. And that was never what I meant. I'm sorry, honey. I just wanted to make sure that you're healthy. I didn't want to pressure you into something. It's only for you. See, like people are like saying, most people don't know what they want, but people say what they want. I deliver and I listen to what they want, and then they get upset with me that I'm trying to pressure them into getting what they want. That's literally the opposite of narcissism. Narcissism is like, I want and you must do this. But you told me you wanted that, and I'm just delivering on what you asked me you wanted. So that's actually real listening. That is the
or blah 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 blah. And I believed all that.
It's not about beliefs. You're talking about belief. It's like you never even did the forum. You get that it's not about what you believe. It's not about what you want. It's not about what you like. It's not about what you don't like. In your life, not to be talking about Landmark, just in your life, if you focused on what you want, what you don't want, what you like, what you don't like, what you believe, what you don't believe, what you feel, what you don't feel, it's never going to get you anywhere. The universe has no interest in that stuff whatsoever. That's only going on with you. It's only going on with you because we're, masked by our 6-year-old selves that told ourselves. I mean, I'm talking to my 10-year-old last night about him saying, like, oh, I always forget stuff. And I'm like, if you say that you always forget stuff, then you will always forget stuff because you're putting it into your own future. You are literally the author of your own life. And by saying that, talking to yourself that way, you are condemning yourself. You're literally writing your book for tomorrow that you would forget something because you just said you always forget stuff, or I'm probably going to forget something.
So, but as that all starts to crumble and I start to learn
And no one's trying to force you to believe anything different than what you already believe. In fact, maybe you'll believe what you believe even greater than you believe it now because you did the forum, because you have a whole new open mind to what's possible.
I have some journalists asking me some
I can't tell you
questions.
how many times I've reread the Bible after the forum and been like, oh my God, I never, because I just learned something new outside of the Bible. And then I read the Bible again and then I'm like, oh, that's what they meant. everybody else thinks they meant X, and really it was Y the whole time, and 7 billion people on the planet think Y, and really the Bible is saying X.
To them, and I realized like,
Anyway, it's yeah, just be present to what you got. If you did do the forum, if you didn't do the forum, call the office.
I'm like giving them the answers about all this stuff, and I'm like,
You're giving someone the answers. That is not what the forum is about. Forum is producing insights which occur to you to come up with your own answers. It has nothing to do with answers whatsoever. So if you're giving somebody answers, that is something else. And I love to give people answers. But it seems that they first have to be in their own possibility and open to accept answers. And even then, it's yeah. If you've done the foreign and didn't do the advanced course, I highly suggest the advanced course because you're going to get the true test for reality, agreement realities, the occurring world, what your act is, and then the rainbow of agreement realities. So there's like you, and you have your own agreement realities you created with yourself. Then you have your family's agreement realities. Then you have, and not just agreement realities, like impacts that you could make on those people in your life. And then you have your your town's agreement realities, your state's agreement realities, your community's agreement realities, your faith's agreement realities, your nation's agreement realities, your world agreement realities.
wait, you know, is this a cult? Maybe this really is a cult. Like, what?
As you point to your book of is this a cult, and you said is this a cult to not get yourself sued so you couldn't be accused of saying this is a cult, and then you're like maybe this is a cult. No, it's not. And um
And for sure it's cultish. And then I
no, and then you would say for sure it's cultish but you back it up with nothing. Like, please, I look up every single dictionary definition of a cult, and Landmark is the exact opposite of all of that stuff. And you want to keep calling it cultish over and over and over again with zero experience and zero, I mean, not experience, there was zero citation or he said, she said, or an example of how it could be cult-ish. It's not.
call Rick Allen Ross, which is like this
Who hasn't done the forum and won't sign the paperwork because he thinks it signs his rights away. And if you look at every line in the paperwork, it has nothing to do with your rights whatsoever. It has nothing to, the course is not psychological in nature. So it's not psychology. So there's no if you're like gonna have a psych I don't know, it's just all
huge brave thing. And but what
this huge brave thing. It's like diminishes everything that's absolutely
I have
incredible.
found out since the book comes, so then all that culminates in
Since the book comes out, like you publish this book, all you it's just just a grift to sell your book, to sell companies on your version of the forum while not giving them any credit whatsoever. To my understanding, you coach companies on how to have breakthroughs in their company experience. And if I took away your distinctions that you got for your life out of the forum, then you wouldn't be able to be in business coaching these companies on your way of looking at things or whichever. I don't know like what exactly you teach them, but the point is you wouldn't even have a company without the Landmark Forum. And it was you that created the company. It was you that had the breakthroughs in the forum, but you wouldn't have had those breakthroughs had you not gone to the forum. And it was only 10 days and it lasts a lifetime. Um, I don't know, and like hopefully, knockwood, you are speaking to companies about doing the forum themselves, or if they're a large company, utilizing Vanto Group themselves and not trying to pawn it off as your own, um, and trying to grift the book. And
I write the story. And that's a whole fun story anyway.
I mean, you can ask the questions, but like, you're not interviewing anyone like me that's looking at it from the other point of view. You're just interviewing people in your echo chamber so that you're more and more right, and you can avoid being fully happy and free, because you're going to continue to make this organization wrong that literally taught you like a massive basis of what you know. Like 40 different things that I've learned. I don't know. Like I can't say I would have learned them if I hadn't done the forum. I don't, nobody can really say that, but the point is that there's 40 different disciplines that I've learned after taking the forum that I have used to great benefit in my life in a variety of areas. And yeah, if I hadn't done the forum, like my friends, when I suggest these 40 different things of that were only beneficial and are like life lessons that I got that I just like love to share with other people. Like, why would I hide something that made me $1 million or saved me $1 million or had me be healthy or had me be happy or had me have a effective marriage that like isn't like perfect in your definition of a perfect marriage, but like I grew, she grew, like that's pretty perfect to me.
too about how that happens. But I so
I gotta end this recording. This is just let's see if we can just yeah, stop. All right, peace out. Hope you're having a great day, best day ever. And yeah, don't believe everything you read. Hey, don't believe me. Nobody's asking you to believe me. I'm not telling you that what I'm telling you is the truth.